Hello, and welcome once again to the Superconnectivity. I, sir and ladies, am your host. I assume there's only one guy listening, and we have a predominantly female audience. But if you are also identifying as male, hello, man, as well. Welcome to Superconnectivity. I'm your host, Charlie, the Professor Esser, and with me, as always, is the man who makes everything possible. And I mean everything. It is he alone who dreams the world into existence each night.
Stan Lee. No, Phil, me and Perich.
Oh. Yeah. Yes, Phil. Hopefully has no accusations of sexual harassment against him.
Who, me? No.
The last leading so far, the last leading media figure to stand so unaccused. What's wrong with you, Phil? I don't know. That was completely inappropriate. So, a few things to talk about. Why not? A few things to talk about tonight. We've got some great comic books this week.
Hey, kids, comics!
Hey, kids, comics. I'm so sad. Though my dealer hasn't yelled at me recently.
Sounds so funny. My dealer.
My dealer. You know, I told him
I need it.
I'll make good. Just like I told him not to pull the week that Gwenpool comes out and Squirrel Girl and Ms. Marvel comes out. I'm like, come on, universe.
Come on, I need this comics bad, man.
I need my comics bad. I need those comics bad. You got no idea, man. It's like 2 issues of Gwenpool left, and I'm missing 11 right now. And I'm like, although, speaking of Gwenpool, you ready for the craziest of all crazy fan theories ever?
Lay it down.
Ever, Phil?
Lay it down.
Who is Voyager? Who is Voyager, Phil? Phil, do you know who Voyager is?
No.
Voyager is Gwenpool.
What?
Oh, you missed it. And you all missed it. You all mark my words. Voyager is Gwenpool. Now, Gwenpool in comics may not know that yet. But Gwenpool is Voyager. Do you want to know why I know that Gwenpool is Voyager?
Yeah, tell me. I mean, the timing works, but besides that, how do you know?
Okay. And because I don't have the book in front of me because I have digital books right now. She makes this statement that she has the power when she's fighting Victory. Oh, by the way, fun thing about Victory, apparently that's supposed to be a callback to a character by the name of Triumph, who was dropped into the Justice League and was supposed to have always been there, but everyone forgot.
It's like the same thing that's
I don't know
happening
how that
here.
story worked out.
It was in the 90s.
Yeah, exactly.
0 hour when time was all wonky, and they're like, "Oh yeah, this guy helped found the Justice League, and you know he would have been as big as Superman, except he got thrown out of time and stuff, you know."
Yeah. So anyway, but here's the thing about that. Aside from the fact that obviously that's something that Gwenpool would know, because she's a big comic nerd. I said Deadpool. She doesn't read Deadpool. She makes the statement in there that her powers are to step, and I'm trying to remember what she says, but she says my shadow, my reality stepping powers, my power to step between worlds, or something of that nature. And then we see her thrown into infinity.
Oh, it's even better than that. She said, or wait, no, that's never mind. Go ahead. That was him.
Yeah. When she's fighting, but she makes this statement about her powers. But anyway, when she gets thrown into infinity, look at when she said she watched watched everyone's stories. What is she looking at? Yeah, right there. What is she looking at? What comics? Ooh. Not images from comics, the covers with the UPCs and everything. That's the point. That's how you know that she is Gwenpool. Because what is the entire arc of the recent Gwenpool plot been? None of you know because I'm the only one reading it. Which is why it's getting canceled. But it's about how she wants to prove herself worthy of the Avengers. And I think what she is going to realize probably by issue 12 or possibly at the end of issue 12, they're going to come back to, she's going to say something that the only way I could ever do this is if I totally retconned myself. And so this is my big prediction. It's going to be revealed that Voyager is in fact not Valeria Von Doom or Valeria Richards. She is going to be revealed to be Gwenpool. That this was her way to become something in the Marvel Universe. And she'll probably have to sacrifice herself at the end, you know. I mean, as you do.
At first I was like, I don't know if they do that with Gwenpool, but I mean, look even the front cover. What is it? It's a cover of someone looking at a cover of Avengers #1, you know, but with
of course Voyager there.
Yeah.
Now, is that a woman's hand or a man's hand?
I don't know. The hand, the fingers seem kind of thin, so I don't know if it's supposed to be a woman or a child, maybe.
Yeah. Well, the point is that it was 12 cents. So, you know, yeah. I'm gonna say that may be the real amazing thing they're gonna pull in this is that they're gonna say that the reveal is gonna be that Voyager was actually Gwenpool. That this is what Gwenpool, because when Gwenpool, and of course I missed this issue where she decides to become a villain because she's back with Batroc, the Leaper, who honestly became so awesome under the Gwenpool storyline. You know, all we get ever is like flack on poor old Batroc, but I tell you, Batroc the Leaper in Gwenpool is awesome. Although they've done some good things with Batroc. One of my favorite lines, there's actually, was it a Captain America comic or was it something else? Where they have Batroc basically, he gets hired out by these guys who are going to, you know, knock over a bank, but they're like, I guess they're on Captain America's turf or something. And Batroc says to him, "You didn't hire me to stop Captain America. You hired me because you need someone that can slow down Captain America. Mm-hmm. Because if there was someone who could beat Captain America, trust me, it would have been me. But he's Captain America. Nobody beats him." Interestingly, missing from the Avengers story is Captain America.
Oh, this one? The current one? Well, he was in the first issue, but he was one of those ones who got like frozen, remember?
Oh, well, that's right.
You're right. Like 2 seconds, and he got frozen, yeah.
Which is interesting now lots of spoilers in this, kids. It's interesting in the context of the story because basically what we're looking at is we're looking at a replay of the story that we actually kind of get at when we get Voyager's secret origin, you know.
Yeah. That's
during the Squadron Sinister crossover.
Yeah.
Versus the, bad guys, as it were, versus the Squadron Sinister, which is this thing from with of course the Grandmaster and Kang, and now we see in this one we have the Lethal Legion, which I don't know if the Lethal Legion is actually supposed to be I don't think they're supposed. I think they're an actual set of characters from the Marvel Universe already. Because I was reading something about the Lethal Legion recently.
Isn't it? I mean, I think the membership differs, but isn't it usually like people who've died, or?
I have no idea who they're supposed to be, but anyway, they are there, and they are fighting the Black Order, and it's kind of like the villain version of what that original. Mm-hmm. Battle of heroes versus other pastiche heroes were. Although they were the Squadron Sinister in that story. Although I thought they might have been the Squadron Supreme originally. I don't know. I forget. I haven't read all those comics in ages or read the Marvel Saga or Handbook to the Marvel Universe issues in ages. So I may not always know the exact answer, but it is interesting that what we're looking at here is like, okay, it's a contest. These are the two guys. And of course, here the Obsidian Order decides rather stupidly, I think, that because that the natural defenses of this planet are the superheroes, so they will take out a bunch of superheroes before their big fight, which I think is kind of stupid. Because, okay, these are the natural defenses of the planet. They put you and the other team at an equal disadvantage, except you actually have the extreme advantage because you've dealt with this planet before. You're from this universe. You should actually have the advantage over these people if they show up. But they decide that they're going to go actively attack the superheroes. And yeah, granted, they blow up Avengers Mansion because, that's never been done before.
No, never.
That always kills all the Avengers inside. Exactly, 100%. So, so the Obsidian Order in classic supervillain, which again, more suggestion that Voyager is Gwenpool. Because
it's possible, because that's what I was
the Obsidian Order is behaving in such stupid supervillain comic book fashion.
I mean, it's possible, because that's even what I was thinking. I was like, all we've gotten is, she was a founding member of the Avengers. We don't know her origin. How did she get her powers? Where did she come from?
Exactly. It is clearly Gwenpool. That's my take. And here's what I'm going to say. And here's why Victory is important. Because they put this lampshade on Victory as the triumph thing for whatever they did, written by the same guy as I believe. Who wrote this? Is this Mark Waid writing this? No, who's writing this?
I believe this is a collaborative effort between some of the Avengers writers. Hold on, let me look. Writers Mark Waid, Al Ewing, and Jim Zub. Our buddy Jim Zub.
Yes, but Mark Waid is the guy who if I remember correctly, was the guy who put Triumph in Justice League.
Maybe, yeah, I can't remember.
Yeah, I believe from what I read on CBR, that was what they were suggesting when I was reading about who this Victory guy and this Triumph guy was. Because of course, I don't read DC. I've never read those books, so I actually had no idea who this Triumph guy was supposed to be. Except they were saying that it's kind of a lampshade of this other story, So I was like, okay, I'll go along with it.
I love him on Conan O'Brien show. Triumph.
That's the insult comes dog. I know.
For me to poop on.
Yes. Well, but do not poop on this issue. It is very good. I really liked it. I liked Sam really getting sort of being the leader, or at least trying to be the leader of the Avengers. I liked that. That was neat. Because I like that Sam really does have feet of clay. Because Sam is, of course, not Captain America anymore, even though he kind of is that guy who was Captain America. And now he's like trying to find his footing as the leader of the Avengers. And I really liked that. And I liked him trying to think and really being very cautious and circumspect in the way he does, especially compared to Rogue and Roberto, our other leaders of Avengers teams, Although, again, they didn't really get to any kind of real superhero fight in this. We really got the superheroes actually really trying to work together. Although, what's going on with Jarvis is a very important question.
Yeah, because didn't they say something was weird when the Beast was examining him? But
something is very, very wrong.
But I did look up Triumph. Although most commonly associated with writer Christopher Priest, Triumph was actually created by Mark Waid, Brian Augustin, and Howard Porter. So yes, Mark Waid was involved. So
yeah, so there we go. But you know what? This thing with Jarvis, that may be another clue to Gwenpool. Because one of the things that they keep on mentioning in Gwenpool was they're not going to let me kill this character in my book. And what the Beast might be referring to is he should be dead by all these injuries. Why is something is very wrong that he's still alive?
Plus Jarvis always gets injured when someone attacks the mansion, whether he's there or not. Just ask.
Honestly, the guy got beat up by a freaking Hulk villain.
Mr. Hyde, he got beat up.
Yeah. So an old man versus Mr. Hyde. Jarvis, 2 weeks later, okay, time to make breakfast.
Oh, he just had an eye patch.
Yeah. But only for like a little while. Then he got rid of it.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. 2 weeks later, the only injury he had was like a patch over one eye.
Mm-hmm. I know, because Jarvis is that important to canon.
Just like
they're not going to let you. They're not.
Like Aunt May.
He is like Aunt May. He and Aunt May are like the most immortal characters. There will at the end of the universe, there will be only 3 beings left, or sorry, 4 beings left. Boulder, because I said so. Mr. Immortal, Aunt May, and Jarvis, and then they will stand there and then they will play cards, just like Doctor Strange, Silver Surfer, and the Phoenix did after Korvac destroyed the universe in that issue of What If.
Did you know right before the first Civil War, when like Bendis first had Spider-Man join the Avengers?
He's Lilith's problem now. Well, your problem too. He's DC's problem now.
But no, like after Spider-Man first joined the Avengers, like Aunt May and Jarvis almost had a relationship going.
Yeah, well, she's single again.
She's always single. You know how many times this woman's been married or engaged and lost a husband?
Well, okay, not for nothing. She and Ben were married for years.
That's true.
They had a very long relationship, and it's just that she keeps on dating old guys that keep dying on her. It's not her fault. She just is a very long-lived lady, and like they keep on fridging her boyfriends. Basically, is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
They keep on throwing her boyfriends in the fridge, man. It's like, sorry, Aunt May's a bigger character than you, John Jameson the First. You
better make sure that Black Widow movie they're talking about isn't Aunt May.
Okay. Oh man, now I want to talk about Black Widow because there's so much to talk about. We don't have.
We can do that tomorrow on Capes and Lunatics because we talked Black Widow last week on Superconnectivity.
Yeah. There's so much to talk about. Okay, so let's get to. You want to get to because I had a good lady and then threw in Black Widow. Do you want to talk about Doctor Strange or Thor?
I don't care. Which one?
What did we put on? What did we tell people we were talking about tonight?
Well, I put the Avengers and both of these. So
okay, yeah. So let's talk. Let's talk Doctor Strange before we get to Thor. Thor was great too. I mean, these were like 3 really fantastic books.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, I read all 3. I'm like Charlie's gonna love all of these.
Oh, they were great. So here's what I love about Doctor Strange. We're gonna give a slightly abbreviated version on Doctor Strange here. What I like about Doctor Strange is that the whole big spoilers. The whole big reveal about the temple of the people who are taking on the cost of magic for Doctor Strange shows up in this, and the person who is taking the cost of Doctor Strange is in fact the Sentry who he resurrected.
And he's like, yeah, I'll just take a nap. It's all good.
Mm-hmm. But you know what's important about that?
Did that cause the whole final thing at the end of the issue?
Well, sort of, yes, because here's the thing. The Void, spoilers, is locked in Doctor Strange's mansion before when Loki gets there.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
So that means that Doctor Strange had this plan to use the Sentry and lock up the Void before Loki took the Sorcerer Supreme title.
I think was it this issue?
Think about that for a minute.
I think he kind of hinted around that. Yeah, he had that. That he had done this beforehand. Yeah. Yeah,
he had actually, and of course, it's a great. This great thing. Say, it's like I will pay for this eventually. Which actually, you know what that just made me think about is what is that story this is my little one-shot pitch to Marvel. I want the story when Stephen Strange must pay. And here's how I envision that. You have the Vishanti and you have the soul of Stephen Strange there. And they say, Stephen Strange, these are the crimes you are committed. And then they say, and who They'll pay for his crimes. And you have all of his enemies. You have Mephisto and Nightmare and Dormammu, and they're like, I will pay for his crime. And basically, literally, who is going to get the right to tear his soul apart for a billion years, you know?
You know, like, what was it, like 10 years ago or so? Like, they had some of those, like, series where it's like, it was, like, supposedly the end of, like, every series, like X-Men, the end, and there's a couple other ones. They never did a Doctor Strange, did they?
Well, this is my pitch for Doctor Strange.
That's what I'm saying. That's what we need.
So Marvel, okay, Jim Zub, if you're listening, tell them, oh, this is a great pitch. I just came up all by myself. David Walker, any of you guys who we've interviewed who are listening, if you want to pitch, I give this to you for free. That is Doctor Strange in the end. It is Doctor Strange at the end, and he is being judged by the Vishanti, as he says. And they list, and it's a great way to look at all of the past, and then come up with some great things of other really horrible things he did over the centuries as the Sorcerer Supreme, or as just another mage who, when he wasn't the Sorcerer Supreme for a while, because I'm sure, much like the Ancient One, there were like times where it was like, oh, I'm dead again. Now I'm back, you know. Because the Vishanti only comes when you're dead for real this time.
Yeah.
You know, because that's the thing. It's like, no, we're waiting for it to be for real. We all know that you're only mostly dead. Just still a little bit alive. So yeah, so now what's the twist is who pays for him? Who pays for him? And it's got to be something you didn't expect with someone who basically just lets him go afterwards. I don't know. My imagination is it is maybe, I don't know. Let's just say Mo.
What if in this like supposed last story that you kind of play it like Doctor Strange, you know, at the end, like towards the end here is like almost like Constantine over at DC. It's like he finally realizes that anyone who gets close to him, he gets like, you know, dead or like damned to another dimension or something. You know, something horrible always happens to anyone who gets close to Stephen Strange, and he like tries to end his life, but like I don't know, maybe the Vishanti or whoever won't let him die. He's like, I just want to die, and they're just like, no, you're not done yet. We ain't done with you, kid.
That's good. I like that. But speaking of Constantine, okay, I have to talk about this.
Okay.
Because this makes me mad.
Oh no.
It's been rumored that Citizen Cold and Constantine may have a little bit of a relationship in the upcoming Legends of Tomorrow.
Because Constantine is bisexual, yes.
Yeah, well, who isn't? No, what makes me mad isn't the bisexuality.
I know, because
this man has a husband at home, and I don't know, and I don't think they agreed to this. Yeah, I don't think there was like, hey, look, I know Citizen Cold, you're going to be out there in that other universe. I understand. I don't know if they got an open relationship.
Doesn't count if it's on another Earth.
It always counts unless you have an agreement in place beforehand.
Maybe he'll say they do. I don't know.
Well, I mean, okay. In that case, okay, I'm going to give it a pass. And who knows? And who knows what Ray's up to back in Nazi world, man?
True.
You know, I mean, we all get lonely, and I can understand that. But as it presented, I'm like, you know what, sir? Last I checked, you were married.
Were they married or were they just together? I can't remember. Did they? I'm trying to remember if they said they were actually married or not.
They might not. I mean, honestly, and I'm sure gay marriage isn't legal in Nazi universe. So,
sure,
yeah. You know, although not for nothing, I don't imagine Citizen Cold using that as his excuse, since Captain Cold, absolutely, that's his excuse. Hey,
that's the thing. He's supposed to be the good version, yeah.
Yeah, so I could totally. Although who knows? People say, well, actually, no, by the letter of the law. We're gonna have to see how. Maybe they're gonna do a cop out on it. Maybe they'll do like when Captain Kirk kissed her, and I was like, no, we were possessed by alien beings, you know.
Yeah, or Cold will maybe he'll try to kiss him, and Cold will push him away or something. Yeah.
You know, please no. I have a husband. No, and so that's my worry. Although in other Legends Tomorrow news, who is actually now a series regular?
Keenan Lonsdale, who plays Wally West, Kid Flash.
Yes, Kid Flash is now a legend, which is great. I actually like this. I think he's going to be a great addition, especially because he's like the one guy who can time travel without a ship.
Oh, yeah.
You know, he's like, okay. It's like, well, he hasn't done it yet.
No, because I know for a while, it even took him a while to master that vibrating through solid matter thing. So, yeah, I don't know if he has time travel down yet.
He probably doesn't, you know, and
not until they need it. Not until there's an emergency.
Exactly. No, that's your season finale.
Yeah.
That's how, you know, well, maybe there's one way. I have to access the Speed Force. And then I was like, but who knows what havoc it will wreak, you know, And that's great. So we've all been calling for it. We've all been asking for it. It's not a Solomon Grundy. But we still got Solomon Grundy on Gotham if that ever comes back.
Well, Lilith was all like, "Oh, well, the black guy left. They needed another black guy." That's what she said. But no, you know what I read about today?
Well, I mean,
you know what?
Nothing. Yes.
Yeah. Well, no. The reason I read today, I mean, I don't know if it's true or not, but supposedly on the Flash, I mean, budget wise, it was getting kind of heavy having two speedsters, trying to having to have special effects for two speedsters. So I guess if you spread them out,
really, the speedster effect is expensive.
Who knows?
I mean, I don't know, because it's like cartoon lightning running around you as everyone stands still. You know, everyone stands still for a minute. You know, okay.
Why don't they do some kind of computer generated stuff? So I don't know.
Yeah.
What it costs,
okay.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
the excuse they used. I don't know.
I mean, it's not entirely possible. I would have, and not for nothing. Here's what I'll say. I have to assume it's cheaper than Firestorm, and more to the point, you can use Speedster without actually showing it necessarily.
True.
You know,
because that's what they said. That when they come in and out of a room and you see that gust of wind. I think it was Kevin Smith was saying, yeah, they just use like an air hose and just go.
There we go. Oh, it's like if you've ever watched Arrested Development and they make fun of the Fantastic Four film and the portrayal of the Invisible Woman, which was just a Foley guy with something on a string going like this. No, I'm sorry, not a Foley guy, a grip doing that. You know, it's funny because, of course, Tobias is all in love with the woman who played the Invisible Woman in the film, but she actually wasn't in any of the scenes he liked because she was just so great as the Invisible Woman when she's invisible. So yeah, but so it's good for Kid Flash. He's on the show, and yes, they got rid of a black guy, and they had to replace it with a black guy because you can't replace like your one black guy with a white guy.
And I think you even said I guess they have too many women now. People will be up in arms. They put another woman on there.
Did I say that? I mean, they would. Yes, absolutely.
I think
you know how these people are. I mean,
somebody said it here. I think I thought it was you, but
And you know what? It's funny because I'm actually now I'm trying to think. Because I've been thinking about, you know, it's interesting that Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is a minority white male show. Of the main characters, there are fewer white males than everyone else because there's white females, and then there's Asian females, and Hispanic females, and a black guy.
Yeah.
And, you know, although I guess maybe we don't know what Nick Blood's status is. So if Nick Blood comes back, it makes it a little more even.
Mm-hmm.
But without Nick Blood, it's just Fitz and Phil Coulson as the white guys. And I'm wondering, is Legends of Tomorrow actually a white male show too? Let's see, you've got Steel, Atom. They just have Steel and Atom now.
Yeah.
You don't because you don't.
Wave.
Oh, Heat Wave, Steel, Atom, Heat Wave, and now Citizen Cold.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and you had Stein for a while there too. So yeah. Although Stein you still have 4 white males. So,
yeah, well. I don't know if we'll stay around the whole season or not, but yeah.
But now you got Constantine too. So,
Well, I think he's only gonna be around for an episode or two. Yeah.
Yeah, but if they just keep on rotating in a major white character into it, a white male character into it, then yeah, they don't beat Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is basically what I'm saying. The Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. really is a majority-minority show. Except for that women aren't actually a minority. They're actually the majority.
There's your weekly Charlie Esser's Marvel is greater than DC in all things.
Well, yes, they are. Even and honestly, I don't care about comic book sales. And I'm going to say it again: Disney doesn't care about comic book sales.
Well, I mean, didn't they say? Certain things for everybody did good, but like comic book sales in general were down as opposed to last year's numbers. Yeah.
Well, of course, comic book sales are down because comic book sales have been going down for decades.
Well, keep raising the price; that'll help.
Well, you know what it is that you're at this point where you either have to cater to a shrinking demographic, or try to build into a broader demographic. Just to get political, this is the problem the Republican Party is always facing right now. But you know what? For fairness, it was the same problem the Democrats faced in the 60s. Because you had a core that you could stick with and you could count on. But as that core began to shrink, you had to make a choice. Do you continue to go to your core, or do you try to reach out to a broader base and betray that core? Now, right now, and this is what I'm going to say. This is just get a little bit political because we always have to get a little bit political on Superconnectivity. People who say the Republican Party is dead because they won't embrace a broader base are foolish. It's going to hurt them. It's going to hurt them bad. They won't embrace a broader base. But 20 years from now, people who are going to be calling the Republicans the everyone else party are going to look as foolish as people who want to say that the Democrats are the party of segregation now. Because yes, the Democrats were the party of segregation because they were catering to a shrinking base. And then under Kennedy and Johnson, they decided, you know what? That base is not going to be around for long. Let's flip this and move in our own direction. Which had the Republicans, after that rejection of them, grab them up because they were low-cost voters. Low-cost voters are voters who just want to have someone acknowledge them without you actually having to do anything for them. The religious right was like that for the Republicans for a very long time. But eventually the Republicans got into a position where the religious right started saying, well, now, are you going to instill Sharia for us now? Are you going to make our religious laws the laws of the land? And the Republicans were like, probably not. And so they started to pull away, and then they had to double down on that. And it gets messy after. Basically, once those low-cost voters start to demand payment, things get complex.
Yeah.
And what the triaging of the Republican Party after the Obama election was, which was like, we need to reach out to these other groups that are not traditionally Republican. That was the right idea to do. They did not do that. In fact, they went in the opposite direction, unfortunately, for the Republican Party. But they can always come back. Because at the end of the day, here's the thing. People are always going to be conflicted between the idea of self-interest and group interest. And group interest is great. But the fact of the matter is that hungry people of all groups are always interested in self-interest too. So between those two battles, there will always that's why a two-party system I think actually works, because neither party is particularly bound to any idea. It just says, okay, we're going to be a little over here, and you're going to be a little over there. We're going to have someplace in the middle, and we're going to just sort of go back and forth in this morass. And that's why I think a two-party system is much better than a multi-party system like you have in every other country, where I think craziness happens far more often. Basically, this is America's first really, really crazy president compared to the world. Whereas every other country has gone through much crazier presidents than ours, or much crazier world leaders than ours in their time over periods of time. And I think that basically, right now, and for what it's worth, right now, our crazy president, his power is basically nothing. And it's still just the two major parties sort of pushing back and forth. Like, how can we get something to this idiot to sign?
I don't want to get too political, but it's just like so much stuff comes out every day that like when stuff comes out, half of it gets ignored. It's like, oh, our president had an affair with a porn star. Oh, what? Oh.
Well, not for nothing. You can thank Clinton for that. Basically, we stopped caring about sex scandals.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. In Clinton's time, they would have called for his impeachment and stuff.
And they did.
Trump, which I know. And with Trump, It's just another day at the office.
Yeah, well, but that's because we went through that once with Clinton. And granted, that wasn't a porn star. That was just a run-of-the-mill sex scandal.
Yeah, and plot. I mean, it shouldn't make that much. It shouldn't make a difference. But Clinton was president when his went down. Trump wasn't president yet when his went down.
Yeah, but and not for nothing. Like I'll say, is like I think Trump likes the sex scandals because they take away from all the other actual scandals.
Mm-hmm.
So not for nothing. Actually, I think having people lose their whatever about Stormy Daniels Stormy Daniels. I won't use her real name because the woman deserves her privacy. Her stage name is Stormy Daniels. That's the appropriate thing to call her. She has a real name, but you don't use that. That's not appropriate.
Yeah, I was going to say, any article I've seen, I haven't seen her real name.
NPR has been using her real name lately, and I'm not big on that. NPR, respect that woman's privacy. Her public face is Stormy Daniels. That's what actually no one cares about, is that Stormy Daniels. No one cares that her real name lady stooped the president in a very unsatisfying sexual encounter. But Stormy Daniels is the story, not her real name. Let her have her real name. Anyway, that's just my take on that. So shame on you, NPR. Shame on you. Okay, let's get to Thor.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Or do you want to talk
I was gonna say. We're running out of time.
We're running out of time. I do want to talk about Cloak and Dagger.
Oh,
briefly. We'll get a teaser. We'll talk about Cloak and Dagger more on Capes and Lunatics, but I want to give a teaser to it because there's something very important that we see in our teaser on that.
Right,
okay, but Thor.
We'll finish with Cloak and Dagger. Thor 703. Mighty Thor
703. And this is weird. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Because we see her disappear from the car with Solomon.
Mm-hmm.
We see her as Thor, and then the next scene, she's in the hospital bed.
So do you think?
I think that's all glamour. I think Malekith and his people have put a spell on her.
Oh.
And her rejecting the hammer, that's not her rejecting the hammer. That's her rejecting Malekith's. Because we'll recall Malekith, because it was Malekith who spoke to Mangog, right? Malekith says, "Hey, I'm not a god, I'm an elf."
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
We're just happy little elves here making cookies. Don't mind me. Ain't nobody here but us elves, Mangog. Asgardians are that way.
But I was gonna say, instead of the Malekith thing, I thought maybe it was the hammer, like looking into her heart and saying, "Do you really still want this? Do you really still want me?"
I mean that's a possibility.
And can it really be a glamour though? I mean, doesn't she really have to be in the hospital? Because as we see on the end credit page, someone comes to see her at the hospital.
Yeah, but you know what? That is an interesting point you make, because we do get our end credits page with that. Although,
he's got a stone! He's got a stone!
Dang, Skippy, he's got a stone. And maybe the flowers are what makes her realize it's a glamour. Because I hate daffodils. or whatever those flowers were. You know,
That's it. That's it. Maybe the stone or is sending him places to try to help these heroes. Because remember, he tried to meet Cap at that bar. You know, that was like the old joke. Wolverine walks into a bar, but remember, but he was too late to save him from Kraven, and now, you know, the whole thing with the hammer and everything. Maybe Logan was here to help, try to save her. But
and what do both have in common? If Thor's in a if Thor's in ice, I'm sorry, if Thor's in a glamour and Cap's in ice, they've both been taken out.
Yes,
they're both in maybe a place where Logan coming, using whatever stone he has, is his way to reach out to them. Maybe Logan has the reality. No, actually, I think they said that Captain Marvel has the reality stone.
I forget which one he
Thor.
has.
He has the Mind Stone.
Who, Logan?
Logan has the Mind Stone, maybe.
Trying to remember which one he said he had.
Oh, did he say he had one? I just knew he had a stone.
I thought I read something somewhere where they said which one he had, but maybe...
You know, people always do things where like, well, the color is this, so that must mean it's that, except the stones change color all the time.
Yeah, I think didn't they even say something like they might have changed color after Secret War, after they went missing, and like, I know the Guardians of the Galaxy, I forget which one they found, but it's like huge now. It's like the size of a room.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, because
they've all been altered somehow, so...
Yeah, well, they're not real things.
All the rules are out.
All the rules are out, you know, and that's why Gwenpool had to go back in time to ingratiate herself into the comic books, to retcon herself, to sacrifice herself into a retcon, to create Voyager so that someone could bring the universe back together in proper comic book fashion.
Or maybe the universe, or, you know, since the new status quo and with the stones and everything, maybe the universe is trying to erase Gwenpool, and she's like, well, the only way I'm going to survive is to fully integrate myself into this universe as someone else.
As Voyager, yeah. Anything's possible. We're going to have to find out. Read your Marvel Comics, kids, because that's where all the answers are. Okay. So last bit, unless you have something else to say about Thor?
No.
Okay. Except for the fact that Cull is such a freaking coward. I'm going to run away. I'm going to find who Mangog loves and torture them instead. It's like, yeah, okay. Okay, Cull. We get it. You're a loser. We knew that first time he showed up. First time Loki defeated you with love. Which is how Loki defeated him, remember. If you actually read the Loki backstory in Fear Itself, because it makes the best sense if you read the Loki books, then Fear Itself is actually a great arc, not just a cash grab. Okay. So last item, we got something dropped at it was the Freeform event. Basically a roll up for everything coming to Freeform. And what is coming to Freeform in June? June, we got a date, Phil? Not like Krypton, which is someday.
Cloak and Dagger is coming to Freeform Thursday, June 7th at 8 p.m.
We got a date and a time. Mark it on your calendars, kids. Okay. Now for what we saw. Just to give you a sense, they have completely rewritten the Cloak and Dagger story in this. And this is going to cause no small amount of nerd rage, I'm sure. Because we see a scene where basically, spoilers, kids, for the scene that's on the internet, by the time this is out, you should have already seen it by now. Tandy steals Tyrone's wallet. He chases after her because he sees her pulling the exact same scam on another dude, because she's just all Aurora-wing, stealing people's wallets, just like good old Charles Xavier. He chases her down. He touches her, and that's when you get this reveal of her power of light. And you don't see that until he grabs her, and from her reaction, it looks like this is new. So this is not the Cloak and Dagger origin story we know. This is a completely different Cloak and Dagger origin story. And here's my thing. Here's my big prediction. We're going to get a tie-in to Agent Carter in this. 2 reasons. One, in the initial preview, when the Agent Carter series, the last series of Agent Carter was out, definitely the Roxxon logo in the Cloak and Dagger preview. And everyone who was watching that was also watching Agent Carter, knew Roxxon was working with the Zero Matter, which we also know is the Dark Force, which is what powers Cloak. Cloak makes a passing reference to his grandfather in this, though he says he got his name from his grandfather on his mother's side. It's long enough that that guy, that Wilson, who was exposed to the dark matter, could have been his great-grandfather. If we get a tie-in to the Manfredis and Emma Frost with Tandy, which is entirely possible, we might find out that that's the origin of their powers.
Oh, fair game now.
The Dark Force, man. You can do anything, man. This is post 70s Incredible Hulk. When you, it doesn't matter if you completely rewrite the story, just keep the spirit. And that's what the Incredible Hulk called us. Okay. Anything else you want to talk about tonight, Phil?
No, but I looked it up because I was pretty sure I remembered this. You know where Wolverine's appearing next?
Where?
Give you some food for thought. Amazing Spider-Man.
Ooh, Amazing Spider-Man. No longer being written by Dan Slott.
Maybe. You know what it could be?
What?
The whole Wolverine thing. Maybe he's visiting people who've been altered in. Captain America had the whole Stevel thing going on.
Mm-hmm.
Now, and now Mjolnir has been Jane Foster's for how long now?
Yeah.
What if he visits Spider-Man because of the whole Mephisto deal?
Or maybe Spider-Man's trapped in something too.
Maybe.
And here's a weird thing. We see in Avengers all these heroes who got frozen. What's happening to those heroes? Is the events... Oh, here you go, Philly. Here you go. Remember how I was saying, this doesn't seem like the Kraven I've been seeing in Squirrel Girl.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe because that whole Kraven story, that's a glamour too. What if when the heroes got frozen, they're under this spell, and the only one that can find them is Wolverine and his mighty, mighty whatever stone. Mark my words, kids. Because Cap's frozen, and he's frozen in the book. So everything you're going to read in the next few issues of Captain America, just assume that's all going to be, it's all going to get Patrick Duffy'd at the end. It was just a dream. A horrible, horrible dream.
Yeah, but Jane Foster Thor isn't frozen now.
Is she in that?
Yeah, she's in this. Yeah. Hold on. We pull up the scene. Yeah, see, there she is around the table with the rest of them. There.
Okay, so she's not frozen. So in that case, maybe right now she's just in a glamour by Malekith.
Maybe.
I don't know yet. I don't know. Something.
Guess what? Like we said, Capes and Lunatics tomorrow, Saturday morning, not tonight like we have been doing. So, hey, you can live tweet with Charlie Esther, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. tonight. Oh,
my goodness. It's Friday night. I forgot. Yay.
Yes, it's not even 8 yet, man. You can.
Oh, let me try stay focused. Okay.
It's got a new job getting up earlier. Yeah, try staying awake.
6 a.m. every morning, man. Oh, no, I leave at 6 a.m. I get up at 5 a.m. Except today I got up at 4:30 because I had to do an errand before I actually even went to work. But yeah.
I leave at 6 too.
New job's going okay, by the way. It's not everything I'd like, and there are reasons that I'm worried about it that I think I'm going to keep my ear to the ground. But overall, I really like where I'm working. I really like the people I'm working with. I like what I'm getting.
Nice.
It's not everything I want, but it's good. So Charlie Esther's doing okay. They'll still send money.
Oh, yeah, always send money.
No. Okay. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm the one who runs this podcast, so I guess I have to end it. Philip, if people would like to reach out to you and talk to you about Voyager and why she's weirdly missing from that comic book behind your head. That's Avengers #1, right? Why isn't she on the cover?
She is on this one.
Oh, shit. Oh, Oh my
Yeah,
God.
maybe you can't see because of the glare, but yeah, no, she
That's just
is there. Yeah, because I just picked. I got that free at the comic book store. What was it, last week? Yeah.
that's just freaking crazy, man.
I know.
I was like, what do you mean? She's right there. She's always been there.
Yeah,
Look
right
at
next to
she's one of the
Loki's
founding
head,
members
yeah.
of the Avengers. What are you talking about, Charlie? She's always been an Avenger.
Wait a minute.
Trying to gaslight me.
Wait a
Trying to
minute.
gaslight me.
They're saying in upcoming issues, they're like, oh, somebody, there's a villain behind the whole thing, and
Obvi.
maybe if it's not Gwenpool, maybe somebody created Voyager, or what if somebody turned Gwenpool into Voyager? Who did the Avengers fight from day one?
Loki?
Yes. The ultimate trick, man.
I'm going to give you one better, Phil.
Hmm.
There's a villain behind it. And that villain is Gwenpool. Evil future Gwenpool, who still exists because that's how comic books work, Gwenpool. You know that. You may have defeated me, but a writer liked me enough to bring me back. Bum, bum, bum. You watch, man. This is all Gwenpool.
She's gonna be like, there's a cosmic being called Mark Waid who is shown favor.
That'd be Ma Quaid. Ma Quaid brought me back just to defeat
J-Zub.
Jazub and Ma Quaid brought me back to destroy you. Yeah.
All right. Well, I think
mark our words. Anyway, how can people write to you to say, what the heck did I just listen to?
If you like these crazy theories, you disagree with them, you can email me, nightwingpdp@gmail.com. On Twitter, I am @nightwingpdp. You can also email capesandlunatics@gmail.com, or the voicemail. Just punch some numbers and talk to us. 614-382-2737. That's 614-38-CAPES.
And, of course, you can always write to me in an old-fashioned email way the way our Moz and Paz once did at superconnectivityblog@gmail.com. That's superconnectivityblog, all one word, at gmail.com. Of course, follow me on the Twitters and I tweet Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., which I'm doing tonight, which by the time you hear this, I've already done, so you missed it, at Charlie Esser. That's CharlieEsser. Look for the two E's in the middle for quality. Thank you for connecting with us, ladies and gentlemen. Please connect with us again.
See everyone last week. He said he could talk over the music, and he did.
I did. Good night.
Such a talented man.
You're messing with my mind with that picture behind you, man.